So in this next topic, we are just going to discuss what is Bohr theory, and then we will just, on the basis of understanding of Bohr theory, we will just go for the hydrogen atom. So how this Bohr theory will help to understand the different energy levels for the hydrogen atom. So first time you will encountered with the discrete energy, and this is the thing. Just before quantum mechanics, we are not saying that we are learning the quantum mechanics, we are not saying we are the learning the classical mechanics, we are between classical and quantum. So this is something called semi classical theory, and this is all about the hypothesis. What is meaning of hypothesis? You cannot prove it by some mathematical thing, rather you have seen some observations. To understand that observation, what you have do, you have take some assumption, and hence these assumptions will fit on the our observations. So why we have incorporated this all thing in our course structure or theory. So today we will just discuss what is Bohr theory. Basically this is well popularly known as Bohr Sommerfeld theory. So this is a very interesting kind of situation, and you will see that how Bohr have think beyond the classical limit. But yes, he just take the classical as well as some his new hypothesis, and finally try to give the answer of uh, some problem related to hydrogen atom. So before going to Bohr theory, let me talk you about the phase space. So what is phase space? So we are talking right now only for the one dimension. So that means particle is moving only in one dimension. So phase space is nothing but this is the plot between momentum and position. So this is the plot between momentum and position, and momentum along y-axis and position along x-axis. So px along y-axis and x along the horizontal axis. So if we are plotting this particular thing, then this particular plot is identified as phase space. So this all theory are related to phase space. So first let's little bit try to understand what is phase space. So some people let's try to go for this, what is this particular phase space. So I will just give you little bit brief information about phase space. The other thing we will do into the mechanics part in the fully detail. But right now we will just try to give you brief information about phase space. Then we will go for what is Bohr-Sommerfeld theory, and then we will apply it on some system, and after then we will go for hydrogen atom. So let's go for what is phase space or phase curve. So phase curve is nothing. Hence, I am talking about one-dimensional system. So obviously, this is the curve between px versus x. Px along vertical axis, x is along horizontal axis. So what will be phase space for harmonic oscillator? So I am just giving you one example of phase space. So what is harmonic oscillator? The energy of harmonic oscillator is all about kinetic energy. We can write kinetic energy in term of momentum. So this is px square upon 2m. And what will be uh, potential energy for harmonic oscillator? This is half m omega square x square. So for the given value of energy, you can plot the phase space. So this is very simple kind of phase space. So we can write this whole equation. So what you have to do? You have to, for the given value of energy, you can plot the phase space, means you have to plot between px versus x, means how your momentum is going to change with position. So this is what we need to plot. So we can see this, I can write this whole equation as px square upon root under 2me whole square plus x square upon root under 2e upon m omega square whole square must be equal to 1. So I have manipulated all this equation. So you can just so I think you have very much convinced with this fact. What I have done, I have take energy here and I can write this thing. So when we are watching this particular or analyzing this particular equation in term of px and x, then this equation is nothing but the ellipse. So you can find ellipse is what? What is ellipse? Ellipse is something if I am plotting about x square upon a square plus y square upon b square is equal to 1. So this is ellipse. And so if we will plot the phase space for harmonic oscillator, so this will come as a elliptical in nature. So this will be elliptical in nature. And this particular value of energy is x is equal to 0. So when you will put x is equal to 0, the px is equal to root under 2me, and this value is all about minus root under 2me. This value is when px is equal to 0. So this value is px. So x can we have again two value. So one value is root under 2e upon m omega square, and this value also known as minus 2e upon m omega square. So this is all about phase curve for the harmonic oscillator. So up to this, if you have any doubt, you can just ask me. Good. So now I have just defined phase curve. The phase curve is very extensive uh, thing, and we will do it into the mechanics part. Uh, so don't worry about that deep knowledge about phase curve. Right now, this is we are just dealing about the simple curve. So now, what will happen classically? Classically, you can change the energy from energy E to E plus dE. So you can change the energy between E to E plus dE, and this dE can be any particular value. So this is the interesting thing. So this dE tends to 0. What is meaning of that? Meaning of that, or either you can change it plus or minus. Don't worry, you can raise the energy of harmonic oscillator, you can decrease the energy of harmonic oscillator. What is meaning of dE is equal to 0? Meaning of dE is equal to 0 that we can make any another phase curve. Any another phase curve. And in between, suppose E plus D, how many number of phase curve can be possible? Infinite number of phase curve can be possible. Because this D can be 0, means I can take this value, I can take this value, I can take this value, I can take this value. So this is the classical approximation. What is classical approximation? What is meaning of that? Meaning of that, in the classical mechanics, the phase curve is all continuous in region. So they are continuous. So they are continuous. You can see. And you can plot infinite number of phase curve between E to E plus D, because D tends to 0. So you can plot infinite number of phase curve. So what we can conclude from the classical mechanics, whatever we have done into the Newtonian mechanics, that there is infinite number of phase curve between energy E to E plus dE. So we can have infinite number of energy between E to E plus D. What is meaning of that? Infinite number of phase curve, which means we can have possible infinite number of energy, which means the energy in a classical mechanics in classical mechanics is continuous. Energy in classical mechanics is basically continuous. So this is the well-defined theory, and this is the one of the wonderful theory in the classical mechanics. Now, what Mr. Bohr have give the new kind of thought process to understand the system at the microscopic level. What is meaning of microscopic level? Means you just want to talk about the electron proton levels of particle. You are just working on that. And then what he said that area under the phase curve, he said that area under the phase curve is discrete in nature. And obviously, if we are talking about area, then curve must be bounded. And the phase curve of the bounded system means we are just talking about that. We are just harmonic oscillator is the bounded system. What is harmonic oscillator? So if you will plot the potential, this potential is half m omega square x square. When we are going to plot it, this will be something like this. So my particle is bounded between these 2 points. My particle is bounded between these 2 points. And you can, so this is some particular value of energy. And this is the potential, Vx. And what will be this value? This value is exactly 2e upon m omega square, where the momentum is 0. So you can find this value is root under 2e upon m omega square. This value is also 2e upon m omega square. So you can find this thing, minus sign is there. So particle is bounded between these 2 points. So let's go for a particular what is the basic theory behind the Bohr assumption. So before that, if you have any doubt, you can just ask me because I have to clear it.
Sir, one thing, why DE tends to 0?
Because you can take any value of energy. Because you can take energy 1 joule, 1.01 joule. Somebody can take energy 1.001 joule. Somebody can take energy 1.0000001 joule. So what is meaning of that? This DE can be as smallest as small you can think. You can get the next phase curve. Okay?
Okay, sir.
एक एक करके बात करो, है ना? बताओ.
हेलो सर, पुनीत सर.
बोलो पुनीत.
क्लासिकली हमारे लिए कोई भी एनर्जी पॉसिबल है?
नहीं, कोई भी एनर्जी नहीं पॉसिबल है. क्लासिकली नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव सारे एनर्जी पॉसिबल होते हैं, बट डिपेंड्स इन विच रीजन यू आर इनटू क्लासिकल अलाउड रीजन. तो उस रेंज में, जैसे कि हार्मोनिक ऑसिलेटर के लिए ओनली पॉजिटिव एनर्जी पॉसिबल हो पाएगी. हाइड्रोजन एटम के लिए आप देखोगे नेगेटिव एनर्जी भी पॉसिबल हो पाती है. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन सिस्टम. ठीक है
सर. क्लासिकली आपने मतलब जो ये शेड किया हुआ रीजन है सर, ये एनर्जी मतलब सबका एक दूसरे मतलब कंटिन्यूस है, मतलब वो एक दूसरे से क्लोज है. मतलब
नहीं, कंटिन्यूअस का मतलब ये कहना है कि सपोज करो कि तुम्हारा क्या नाम है?
अजिंक्य सर.
अजिंक्य, तुमने इस एनर्जी के लिए फेज स्पेस प्लॉट किया. ठीक है. और अभी पुनीत ने इस एनर्जी के लिए फेज स्पेस प्लॉट किया. ठीक है. तुम्हारी क्लास में किसी का नाम होगा मान लो अतुल. मैंने इस एनर्जी के लिए फेज स्पेस प्लॉट किया. ठीक है. तो इस तरह से इसके अंदर हम कितने लेवल कर सकते हैं? इनफाइनाइट नंबर कर सकते हैं. इसका मतलब क्या है? ये पूरा का पूरा तुम्हें कंटिन्यूअस दिखेगा नहीं?
हाँ, ओके सर.
ठीक है. ओके. दिस इज वेरी एब्स्ट्रैक्ट. लेकिन पूरी की पूरी फिजिक्स और स्टैटिस्टिकल मैकेनिक्स इसी के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है. सो इसे आपको समझना बड़ा ही इंटरेस्टिंग है. समझ पा रहे हो? ओके. सो लेट्स go for what Mr. Bohr had said. He gave the mind-blowing idea. So I am just keeping this term because I will start with the harmonic oscillator. What Bohr have said that if you are going to calculate the phase curve, if you are going to calculate the area under the phase curve, and this is for the one period. So this is for the periodic motion only. Periodic, or you can say bounded is much better word. So this is for the bounded motion. This is for the bounded motion. Bounded motion means that particle will go and it will again come back. So this will be this kind of situation, such as harmonic oscillator. In harmonic oscillator, you have this much of potential. So particle will start going from here to here and it will come back. So this is Vx versus x. Vx versus x. So this is for the harmonic oscillator. So what he say? He say the area under the phase curve. And what will be area under the phase curve is Px dx is equal to nh. What he say? He say Px dx is equal to nh. And what is this n? N will be, you can take 0, but 0 means 0 area, nothing any significant. So this value I can write 1, 2, 3 and so on. What he say? He said area under the phase curve is discrete in nature. But in general, in classical mechanics, what we have seen? We have seen that area under the phase curve is continuous in nature. But he said, no, this cannot be happen. At the microscopic level, when we are going to talk about that particular phase curve, then area under the phase curve is discrete in nature. This is the mind-blowing idea. And if area under the phase curve is discrete in nature, what is meaning of that? Meaning of that, every phase curve is defined by some particular value of energy. And that particular value of energy will also discrete. Let me calculate you in a very primitive way to how we can calculate the area under the phase curve. So from here we can calculate what are the possible value of energy of the harmonic oscillator. So how you can calculate the possible value of energy for the harmonic oscillator? So we have plotted the phase curve. So this is my phase curve, and for the harmonic oscillator, this will be Px and this will be x. This value is nothing but the root under 2me. This value is nothing but the minus root under 2me. And this value is, we have just calculated 2e upon m omega square. And this value is also we can calculate it minus 2e upon m omega square. So we can calculate this value. So obviously this is elliptical in nature, so we can easily calculate what will be area. So first I will just calculate it with ellipse property, then I will also calculate it with the integration. So that integration part is also very important to raise your IQ level. Okay, but before that, we have to just follow the fundamentals. So what will be area of the ellipse? If we are calculating Px dx, means I am calculating the area of this ellipse. And what will be area of the ellipse? Area of the ellipse I can write pi a into b. Let's say this is major axis, this is minor axis, depends on you. And this pi a and b is equal to nh. I can put pi, let's say this is your a, this is your b, and we can put pi, and what will be this particular thing? A is nothing but 2e upon m omega square, and this value is equal to 2me. And this all thing must be followed nh. Area must be equal to n into h. So when we are calculating all this thing, so what will happen? This m and this m will cancel, and you can have 2 pi e upon omega is equal to nh. And what will be energy possible? That will be n h upon 2 pi into omega. And you can see, so what is the possible value of energy according to Bohr-Sommerfeld? The possible value of energy according to Bohr-Sommerfeld is E1 is equal to h cut omega, E2 is equal to 2h cut omega. This thing, sorry, this is h by 2 pi. So this will be h cut, okay? So you can have energy h cut omega, 2h cut omega. What will be next level of energy? That will be 3h cut omega. So from here, what you can make a conclusion? You can make a conclusion. If system is bounded, if phase curve is bounded, then the area under the phase curve is not continuous, rather discrete according to Bohr-Sommerfeld theory. And what are the possible value of energy for harmonic oscillator according to Bohr-Sommerfeld theory? They are not all possible value of energy. As in a harmonic oscillator, you can get any value of energy between 0 to infinite. But here, the energy is not possible between 0 to infinite. Rather, there are discrete value. What are the possible values? The possible value is E1 h cut omega, 2 h cut omega, 3 h cut omega. So this kind of thing. So concept of discreteness come into picture. The concept of discreteness have come into picture according to Bohr-Sommerfeld theory. So up to that, if you have any doubt, you can just ask me.
सर NH के इक्वल क्या लिया था?
Sorry, क्या हुआ?
NH के इक्वल टोटल एनर्जी ये है ना सर, ये क्यों है NH?
इन्होंने बोर के थ्योरी के अनुसार लिया है, मैंने नहीं लिया, बोर के थ्योरी के अनुसार हुआ है। बोर ने एक थ्योरी दिया है, उस थ्योरी के अनुसार ये वैल्यू NH होनी चाहिए।
सर ये n क्या है?
एक मिनट आराम से, एक एक करके। क्या
ये n क्या है?
n इज नंबर, n इज नंबर, ध्यान है। 1 2 3 4 5।
सर
यस
सर यहाँ पे h प्लैंक्स कांस्टेंट है ना?
यस h इज प्लैंक
तो
कांस्टेंट।
तो h/2 पाई का मीनिंग क्या होगा?
h कट, इसको नंबर देते हैं आप इसका एक नंबर वैल्यू निकाल सकते हो। h कट को h/2 पाई को आप लिख सकते हो। h/2 पाई is denoted by h cut. Okay, and this is also number.
सर जो एरिया अंडर कर्व है वो एनर्जी डिफाइन कर रहे हैं क्या?
नहीं, एरिया अंडर द कर्व, एरिया एक आप h के डायमेंशन में मिल रहा है, जो भी एरिया अंडर द कर्व मिल रहा है।
सर ये जो एनर्जी निकाल ली है सर, वो ऑर्बिट की एनर्जी है ना सर? ये
नहीं, ऑर्बिट यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं है, ये हार्मोनिक ऑसिलेटर की एनर्जी है। अभी ऑर्बिट के बारे में बात करेंगे। ये हार्मोनिक ऑसिलेटर की एनर्जी है। हार्मोनिक ऑसिलेटर की क्लासिकली क्या क्या एनर्जी हो सकती है? क्लासिकली यू कैन हैव एनी वैल्यू ऑफ एनर्जी बिटवीन 0 टू इनफिनाइट। अकॉर्डिंग टू बोर थ्योरी क्या क्या हो सकती है? अकॉर्डिंग टू बोर थ्योरी दैट विल बी 1h कट ओमेगा, 2h कट ओमेगा, 3h कट ओमेगा, 4h कट ओमेगा। अकॉर्डिंग टू बोर थ्योरी ये पॉसिबल वैल्यू ऑफ एनर्जी है। आप अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाट देखना चाहते हो, दिस इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग। सो राइट नाउ यू हैव टू fix your mind that according to Bohr these are the only possible energy. ये सही है गलत है, that is different issue, that is different issue, but you will be surprised that this will work very nicely कि जब quantum mechanics develop हो गया, when quantum mechanics developed and then people have find the energy of harmonic oscillator, they will be in this form, not exactly this thing, but they are into this form. So why we are accepting this particular hypothesis? This is the hypothesis. What is meaning of hypothesis? This mathematics are based on to prove some observation. There are not any proof of this thing. Nobody is going to prove this particular thing, but on to basis of this we can try to explain some observation. And you will see, you will surprise that from this particular hypothesis, we can try to figure out the energy of hydrogen atom. So that is different issue. But before that, I am just trying to explain you what is area under the phase space. Area under the phase space, nothing, but you will just take the px along y-axis, x along or position along x-axis, and whatever be the area, mathematically, these are mathematical things. And this will be of the dimension of h. This is the beautiful concept. This is not a dimension of energy. This is dimension of h. Obviously, you know, h has dimension of angular momentum. This is very interesting thing. So h is basically Planck's constant. H is basically Planck's constant. So let us learn how we can calculate this area with help of integration. Then we will go for hydrogen atom, and how we will get the quantization rule for the hydrogen atom. So but before that, let's go for calculating the area with the integration form. Look at. So this is very interesting. Again, I am plotting this phase curve. So let's plot this phase curve here. Okay. So this will be root under 2me. This will be root under minus 2me. This will be root under 2e upon m omega square. And this will be minus root under 2e upon m omega square. Now look at. So we have to calculate area under the phase curve, means we have to calculate pdx. Look at, this is very strong mathematical trick जो कि आपको बहुत जगह काम आएगा, है ना? So please take it account. So this will be, can I write this px from there is equal to root under 2m e minus half m omega square x square into dx. You can write p from there. So actually you have to calculate this area. Now let us play a trick. If we are going to calculate this particular part of area, and we can multiply with the 4, then we can easily calculate the area, because this is the 1/4 of this whole ellipse. So we will just try to calculate this part of area. So how you can write it? You can write 4 into 0 to, we will start from 0 to this particular value, root under 2e upon m omega square, and inside bracket we have 2m e minus half m omega square dx, and this particular value must be equal to nh. Now look at the trick. This is minus, okay? This is minus half. So look at the trick. First trick, you will make it dimensionless. So let's try to make it dimensionless. So what you will do, you will take root under 2me common. Root under 2me common. So once you will take root under 2me common, then what will happen? This will go 0 to root under 2e upon m omega square, and inside you have 1 minus m omega square upon 2e x square dx. So first concept, you have to just take root under 2me common such that we can have dimensionless quantity. Now what is next step? Next step is very interesting. Look at here. Look at here. So I am just removing all this part, and we are just writing here. What you can put? You can put root under m omega square upon 2e into x is equal to some t. Why we are taking this thing? First let me do, then I will tell you the basic thing. When x is equal to 0, t is equal to 0. You can put when x is equal to 0, t is equal to 0. But when x is equal to root under 2e upon m omega square, then t is equal to 1. And you can find the value of dx is equal to finally root under 2e upon m omega square dt. And now let's go for this particular integration. This particular integration, I am using the different color. So this will be this will be 4 into root under 2me into root under 2e upon m omega square due to this dx, and integration is always between 0 to 1 root under 1 minus t square dt. Just check it, and then I will give you one fundamental trick. Are you comfortable up to this?
Yes.
You have to always keep in mind that this integration will always go to 0 to 1. So why you have to take this particular thing? Okay? Yes.
सर वो x स्क्वायर जो आपने नीचे में लिखा है वो रूट के अंदर में है.
हाँ, रूट के अंदर में है, सारा रूट के अंदर में है ये ना, एवरीथिंग इज, आप वहां से कैलकुलेट करोगे. नाउ कैन आई गिव with the intuition without solving anything, can I say that this integration is between, had some fraction value between 0 to 1? Can I prove it?
Yes, sir.
Can I prove
Yes,
it?
sir, yes.
Look at here. ऐसे नहीं. Look at how I am going to prove. Suppose it will be rectangular in shape. Suppose this will be rectangular in shape. So what will be, and this y distance is root under 2me and x distance is root under 2e upon m omega square. Okay. So suppose this is rectangular in shape. So what will be area of the rectangle? Root under 2me into root under 2e upon m omega square. Yes or no? If this will be rectangular in shape, then this area will be root under 2me and root under 2me upon m omega square. So
Yes,
this area, the shaded area, will be less than this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So shaded area is less than this. What is meaning of that? Meaning of that, this value is, let's say, some alpha between 0 to 1. And you can calculate also, but I am just giving you intuition. But sometime you cannot calculate this area. But you can say that, okay, this is the fraction quantity. Don't worry. So what you can get, this value is between 0 to alpha, and once you will calculate it, how you will calculate? Put the value t is equal to sine theta and dt is equal to cos theta, you can easily calculate. Put the value t is equal to sine theta and dt is equal to cos theta d theta. You can easily calculate, this value will come out pi by 4. So when you will calculate it, this value is pi by 4. So now, but even if we are not calculating it, we can put some, this is some fraction. This is some fraction. This is between 0 to 1, don't worry. But anyway, this is simple integration, so we can calculate it. This is between 0 to 1. And once we are calculating it between 0 to 1, so we have calculated area between this curve. Then what we can get? We can get that is 4 into root under 2me into root under 2e upon m omega square into pi by 4, because I have calculated. You can just check it. This is a very simple integration. This value is nh. So this value is nh, and when you will calculate this value is this 4 and this 4 is cancel, and you can get this value is en is equal to n h cut omega. What is h cut? H cut is equal to h upon 2 pi. So this is nothing but h upon 2 pi. So this is a pretty interesting thing. You can find, using the Bohr-Sommerfeld theory, we have find that energy can be discrete if it is bounded. At least we can make a particular conclusion that using Bohr-Sommerfeld theory, energy is discrete. Now, let's go for how this particular Bohr-Sommerfeld theory give the quantization of angular momentum for the hydrogen atom. So let's go for hydrogen atom. So this is the main task we have to do. This is the main task. This is just to understanding the hydrogen atom, because from where you are getting this thing, you have to understand. So let's try to go to understand what is the discreteness nature in hydrogen atom? Why discreteness come? And this all kind of thing we can easily understood by the hydrogen atom. Yes.
सर एक चीज समझ नहीं आई, ये जो
बोलो।
रेक्टेंगल से आपने बताया, एक बार फिर से बता दीजिए।
अरे मैं जस्ट बता रहा हूं, अगर ये रेक्टेंगल होता तो एरिया क्या होता बताओ? √2me इंटू √2e अपॉन m ओमेगा स्क्वायर।
यस सर।
होता, तो इसका मतलब क्या होता? दिस वैल्यू इज 1।
यस सर।
ठीक है, अब ये वैल्यू, अब ये तो इसके नीचे ही है ना, सो दिस एरिया
Yes,
इज लेस
sir.
देन रेक्टेंगल, सो व्हाट इज दिस वैल्यू? दिस वैल्यू इज फ्रैक्शन।
लेस देन। यस सर, समझ गई।
ठीक है, हाँ, गुड, वेरी गुड। ओके, सो लेट्स
Hello, sir.
कम टू, यस, अब क्या हो गया?
सर आपने ये 0 से 1 के लिए लिमिट लगाई है सर, ऐसा हम इसीलिए कर रहे हैं ना सर कि अगर हम कभी एरिया फाइंड आउट ना कर पाए, ये इंटीग्रेशन फाइंड आउट ना
वेरी
कर
गुड,
पाए,
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। यू कैन टॉक इन टर्म ऑफ प्रोपोर्शनलिटी, यू कैन टॉक इन टर्म ऑफ प्रोपोर्शनलिटी। ठीक है, बट आपके लेवल पर आसान क्वेश्चन आएंगे, आप एरिया फाइंड कर पाओगे, डोंट वरी। मैंने आपको थोड़ा ज्यादा बता दिया है, सो कीप इट अप टू दिस लेवल, इससे ऊपर जाने की जरूरत नहीं अभी, है ना? सो नाउ so what is Bohr theory for the hydrogen atom? He gives lot of assumption, but I am going before that, how he calculated each thing. So I am just talking about this. So what he said? He said that electron is revolving about the proton. So this is proton, electron is revolving about this particular proton, and this is electron, and there is only one potential, and that is what known as electrostatic potential. So so potential is identified as minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. R is the radius of this particular electron. So this is in circular nature. Now, if this is in circular nature, and suppose, and he just say that it is in a plane, in some horizontal plane. So there is not a vertical plane. Vertical plane means gravity is acting on it. So there is not any role of gravity, anything. So we can assume this is moving in horizontal plane. So if this is moving in horizontal plane, what will be direction of angular momentum? Z direction. Perpendicular to plane. So that will be Z direction. And now if we want to calculate this particular thing, area, here we can calculate P phi d phi is equal to NH. Why? Because it is circulating. So P phi is what? Angular momentum. Yes or no? This P phi is nothing but what? Angular momentum. So I can write this is nothing but angular momentum Lz d phi is equal to NH according to Bohr theory. And you know that this force is central in nature. This force is central in nature. Means angular momentum is conserved. So if angular momentum is conserved, this is constant value. This is actually constant value. So we can take it outside integration. So this will be Lz is outside integration. You have to only go for d phi. And that value is NH. And when you are going to calculate for one particular period, means bounded means what? It will start it and it will come to this point. So it will just go for one particular period. What will be the value of d phi? When you are integrating it, what will be this particular thing? That is 2 pi. So what you can get? You can get Lz into 2 pi is equal to NH. And what is Lz? Lz is nothing, mvr. So this is the tangential velocity v, this is r, so this is mvr, and direction is perpendicular. Direction is perpendicular. So I am using the basic classical theory, but classical theory plus Bohr's theory of quantization of phase space. So when we are using both things, so mvr is equal to nh upon 2 pi, that will be nh cut. And what he say, the Bohr have said that the electron will not move in any orbit. It will only move in that orbit where angular momentum is quantized. And look at here. What is this? MVR is nothing but the angular momentum. And please, if something is rotating in a plane, then angular momentum is just perpendicular direction. So total angular momentum is itself in the z direction. So what is the Bohr theory? So Bohr first postulates about the hydrogen atom, said that angular momentum is quantized. And what is the quantization rule? MVR is equal to NH cut. So this will be the ultimate thing that Bohr have till. MVR is equal to NH cut. So this will be quantization of angular momentum. And what is the second thing? Second thing, he just tell that they are moving in a circular orbit. So we can find the energy and we can find the possible radius. So if angular momentum is quantized, then obviously each and everything is going to quantized. So let's try to use this particular concept of mechanics. This is the concept of mechanics, that Lj at d phi is perpendicular to thing. And what will be this electrostatic potential? All these are theory of mechanics. But what he used extra constraint. He used extra constraint on the system, that angular momentum of system is quantized, and then he just try to give the what are the possible value of hydrogen atom, and let's try to calculate with the help of mechanics. So what is this particular thing? So let's come to all about the calculation of radius, energy, and all the possible value for the hydrogen atom. So let's go for it.
सर एक सेकंड. हेलो सर.
Yes.
सर ये P5 LZ में कैसे?
अरे P5 मींस भाई ये D5 हुआ तो इसको P5 लिखा. Something like Px dx. This is notation. Don't worry. ये तो ठीक है. I have changes dx to d5, then px to p5. So what is d5? This is angle. Then this is what? Angular momentum. If my x is angular, then what will be momentum? That will be an angular momentum. Angle के साथ कौन सा momentum associated होता है? Linear momentum थोड़ी होगा. That will be angular momentum. So this is the notation. We have just using the same notation. We identify this is angular momentum because this is phi. Isn't it? Phi has dimensionless. So what is dimension of p phi? It should be dimension of h. And what is dimension of h? H has dimension of angular momentum. So why I am saying this is angular momentum. So this is just from the intuition. You cannot avoid the intuition to writing any calculation. Okay?
Sir, L2 कैसे constant के लिए एक बार
L2 नहीं है यार, LZ है. This is LZ.
LZ सर LZ को कैसे कांस्टेंट लिए?
ये मैकेनिक्स में पढ़ोगे. ठीक है? So when we will go in mechanics, you can just right now you can understand this is constant value for one particular orbit. Now, so the first constraint is MVR is equal to NH cut. So N can be value of 1, 2, 3, and so on. And obviously it is moving in a circular orbit, means centrifugal force mv square upon r must be equal to electrostatic force, that will be E square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So we are just making a trick, very simple calculation. So we are just making a trick. What I am going to do, I will just go m square v square r square by r. So what I have done, I have multiplied 1 m, so E square m. I have multiplied 1 r square, so r square I have also multiplied here, and this will be 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So simply I have multiplied 1 m square and 1 r square. So what is this all thing? This is n square h cut square. So this is the mathematical trick. N square h cut square, and obviously this r square is gone. This r will gone there. So this will be E square m 4 pi epsilon naught r square. And now you can find the possible radius. The possible radius is all about sorry, r. This is
Sir,
r.
R.
This is r. So the possible radius is all about n square h n square 4 pi epsilon naught h cut square upon me square. When you will going to calculate all this thing, this is mass of electron, this is charge of electron, h cut and epsilon you know, then this value is equal to n square into 0.53 angstrom. So this calculation is all about 0.53 angstrom. So when you will calculate it, so what you have seen? You have seen that radius is not all possible values of radius are there. Only discrete value of radius is there. And what is this discreteness? This discreteness will dependent on n square and let's say a naught. And this a naught is for the Bohr radius. This is a naught is identified as Bohr radius. So this will be Bohr radius. Okay, so this is all about Bohr radius. Now we can calculate Rn. So this you can just write in as a Rn. So all possible radius is not there. Only those radius will be there. What are the possible radius? A naught, 4a naught, and then another radius will be 9a naught. And this kind of radius will be there. So you cannot say that electron can circulate in any arbitrary radius. They will only they have occupied only those radius which will be n square into multiple of a naught, and n is your integer. That's it, and it is coming from the hydrogen atom. So let's try to go for the energy part. So energy we have, so again we will use this thing, so don't worry. So this is very simple. So what we have, the total energy is nothing but the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy, sorry, this is total energy. Kinetic energy half mv square and plus potential energy. So this will be minus E square 4 pi epsilon naught R square. Sorry, epsilon naught R. So this will be, so now again we can use it from here. So what you can say? So you can write mv square is equal to E square upon 4 pi epsilon naught R. 1R is cancelled. I am taking half. So this value is 8. So you can write E is equal to E square upon 8 pi epsilon naught R minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon naught R. And when you are going to calculate it, this value is minus E square 4 pi epsilon naught R. Now you can put the value of R from there. You can put the value of R from there. So now this R is discrete. So I will write this is Rn. Then this value is what? En. So this will be discrete. Now we can get the value of En. Once you will put it there, you can get the value of En, and that will be negative in nature. This is negative. And just you can do this exercise with yourself. I am just writing that all particular value E square 4 pi epsilon naught whole square. So m upon 2h cut square 1 upon n square. I think this is correct one. So yes. So m by 2 h cut square E square 4 pi epsilon naught 1 upon n square. So this is nothing but the energy related to hydrogen atom. So what you can see, if you are going to calculate all this part, if you are going to calculate m is the mass of particle and this is m by 2 h cut square, you can just check it. I think this is correct one. So this value is nothing. No, you can just check it. मैंने कुछ मैनिपुलेट किया ताकि नीचे 4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट स्क्वायर आ जाए. ठीक है, you can just check it. Sorry, यहाँ पर 8 होगा. This will be 8. Sorry. This will be 8. Okay. Sorry. This will be 8. So you can just put it here and you can find this particular value. We can check it.
10 raised to minus 18.
That will be the correct answer. I think it is correct one. You can just do it with yourself. If there is any thing changing, I can change it. Okay. Okay, leave it. So you can just check it. So this value is approximately, when you are going to calculate it, then this value is all about En is all about minus 13.6 upon n square in term of electron volt. And what is value of n? N is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. And you cannot believe that this value will match the more or less exact value for the hydrogen atom. This is mind-blowing thing. This is mind-blowing idea. How it can match exactly. And please, this is not any hi-fi mathematics, just one hypothesis, and finally you can just get this particular thing. How you can get it? So this is the, so why we are getting the exact value after, once you will go into masters and you will do the Schrodinger wave equation and you will solve the hydrogen atom fully with the help of Schrodinger equation and huge calculation. What you will get? You will get exactly same value. You will get exactly same value, same form of this hydrogen atom, energy of hydrogen atom, as well as radius of this particular hydrogen atom. So this is the mind. So why we have accepted the Bohr theory? So why we have accepted the Bohr theory? Because it will match with the experimental result of hydrogen atom. And it is about to explain, the spectrum of the hydrogen atom. We will discuss the spectrum in next class. So what is a spectrum and how this spectrum is there? We have seen there is discrete kind of a spectrum. So why it is coming there? We will discuss all this thing into the next class. So I think your time is over, na? Yes. So
Sir.
Just wait. So this is all about your calculation of hydrogen atom. Yes, you can now ask